Alright, what's up? It's Dope here. I got some replays for you guys today. Got some good news as well. I made it to Master 1. This is now the third time I've made it to Master 1. Every season I make it to Masters. Not really hard, as long as you have like a decent deck. But yeah, making it to Master 1 is quite the grind. But we were able to pull it off. And the deck I was using was Dracotail, the branded variant. So we'll get into some replays, kind of show like what the climb was like, especially towards the end. Obviously the best deck is Cool Tune. Honestly, didn't really feel like using that deck. I just kind of really feel like people are sleeping on Dracotail, so decided to run it and had a lot of success. So we'll talk about some of the replays. Let's get into it. Let's see. Alright, first let's just take a look at the deck. So yeah, this is what we got. We got a 40 card build. I think the MVP in this build is this card here, Performance Pal. Like, this card is so like underrated. Like, I feel like a lot of people are playing Cartesia at 2 or 3 because Lucius got limited to 1 and Rahu, but this card is amazing, especially going first. If you open this card plus any Dracotail, you can basically get into Arthelion. Like, and there's not a lot of ways to really negate this card. Like, you can't negate it with like Ash or a lot of the major hand traps that you use. The only thing maybe that would work was Purge, right, or Impulse, excuse me. And not every deck can play that, so like 9 times out of 10, if you're opening this card plus any Dracotail, you're able to go into Arthelion like right off the rip, which is awesome. You're probably wondering, oh, like, why am I playing 3 of Pan and 3 Urgula? Well, I want to see more of these cards in my hand when I'm going first, especially if I open a Performance Pal, right? And it doesn't use a normal summon. That's a big thing. This deck has a lot of competing normal summons. You have Malulu, you have Lucius. You don't need Cartesia taking up a 3rd spot, right? You just want to stick with these 2, and then this is basically just a free fusion summon, which is amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I like this deck because it has like a lot of hand traps, a lot of going second cards. Like, you got what, 2 Dro, you got Maxi, 3 Ash. You're able to fit in Perulia here, 3 Fulos. I consider Femina as going second card because it has turn 0 place, as long as you open another Dracotail. Magnemite's also like, banished from the grave, and then even in the end phase you can summon him, and then you'd be able to like add one of the dragons, either Albaz or Malulu, or Pan or Urgo, depending on what you need. And then Nib, yeah, so that's what, 15, 16 going second cards. And then the extra deck. So I decided to run 2 Gulamel in this build. I was running Mysterion earlier, and I just decided I wasn't summoning him enough. And then with all like the decks like Cool Tune and Cashier being able to pull from your extra deck, I just think having at least 2 Gulamel was just more needed or more necessary than Mysterion. So yeah, I ran 2 Gulamel, and then we got the standard branded package for Dracotail. So you have your Albion, the branded dragon, Mirror Jade, Libellion, Ring Drum, and Albion. With Ring Drum, a lot of times he's using the graveyard effect to summon Albaz, but there was like, I think in a replay where I actually summoned him to kind of pin down like one of their extra deck monsters that had a negate. So like, this card is really good. Gotta play it. Some people don't play it, but you gotta play it. Chaos Star Source is really good to summon off of, Albion, or you could use Femina if you have Malulu and Albaz or Magnemite. Get a pop or 2 depending on like if it's dark dragons. No light dragons in this deck, so just dark. Obviously 3 Arthelion, and then Secretarion's really good against the Elf Note matchup. They like to summon a lot of spellcasters, so if you're able to get this on the field, especially with the special summon monsters, they're kind of cooked. And then the non-fusion monsters, I have Typhon. I just feel like Typhon's really good. I mean, people make fun of Typhon, say Plan L, but like there's some stun games. I think I have one that I'll show where he basically saved the game. And then obviously Verte Anaconda, gotta run this card. This is like standard, like, you know, just, you know, Dracotail line. You know, obviously, you know, by playing this card you do kind of get into the Nib line where you can get Nibiru'd, but this deck never cared too much about the monsters. It's mainly about the traps and like the cards in hand. Even if I do get Nibiru, but I feel like a lot of people are not playing Nibiru, so like, you know, I prefer to play that line. And then SP didn't come up too much, but you know, just having her in case like you need her for something, it came up a couple times, but not too much. And I have the new card. I don't know why I'm still using the old art, but yeah, gotta change that. All right, anyways, let's get into the replay. So we got Cool Tune for the first game. All right, so I am going second in this game. Rotary is about to allow a normal summon. Q. This is like one of the most dangerous plays because a lot of times they win. Look at the win percentage when they do this. Rotary plus Q goes into Maker. And if I had Draw, I could have Drilled them, but unfortunately I don't have it in my hand. And they're gonna get to look at my hand, alter my deck, and then draw a bunch of cards. The two spell cards. Yep. Alright, then they summon again. Get a lot of normal summons in this deck. And then obviously they saw my hand. They're gonna make Zalin. And Zalin into back-to-back. So I want to talk about this play. So they saw my hand, and obviously they saw Femina, right? Sometimes, depending on your hand, the best thing is to not do anything, because I really think from the player's mindset, a lot of times when they have too much information, they play differently, right? Like, you know, the standard Cool Tune play, they're gonna have the field spell down, they're gonna do a bunch of things, but they saw my Urgla, they saw Femina, and they probably thought, oh, okay, he's going to activate Femina. And sometimes they'll even try to bait you. They'll try to end their turn early and think that, oh, you're gonna make a play because you have to. And I'm like, no, I don't have to do anything. So I just kind of let him combo, and you know, he ended up on a weird, strange field. But I think he was trying to play around what I had in my hand. So yeah. So in the end phase, I go ahead and try to banish his Zalin, and then he activates to summon Zalin, which, you know, is fine. Kind of calculated that was gonna happen. All right, now it's my turn. All right, so this is a great hand. We got Femina. We have Bystial Magnamut, and then 2 Urgula and Pan. I mean, these aren't too great, but it ends up working out in this matchup because Pan gets to destroy a monster, Urgula destroys the back row. Kind of sucks that I have 2 of him. I would prefer this to be like Malulu or something. But the thing about this card, Zalin, is that, you know, he can only negate after there's at least a second chain. He can't negate the first chain by himself. He has to have at least 2 chains going, and then he can negate the first or second chain of, you know, whatever that was before his negate. So the thing I really need is these 2 cards, right? Femina can be chain 1. He's gonna probably chain to that card to be able to use Zalin, but then I have Bystial Magnamut, which I can use to chain for chain 3. So essentially he has no way of negating my Femina. So we'll see this play out. So I go Femina effect, and then he activates back to back, so that's chain 2, and then I chain 3 Bystial Magnamut, so he can't negate my Femina anymore. That was a huge play. So it gets negated, destroyed. I'll live with it. I can always get it back with Dalian. And then he goes into RS. See, in this duel, I feel like I'm in control because he's like playing off my hand. Like he's trying to play around what I got, but it doesn't really matter. Level modulation doesn't matter with this deck either, so you want to play a deck that doesn't get affected by the meta deck too much. Yeah, the Imperm kind of sucks, but I just got so many effects in the graveyard. Like, this deck is just so nasty. Alright. Like I say, we don't care about Arthalion. A lot of those monsters can come back anyway. Yep, we popped it back to back. Just to set a bunch of cards, pop the Killing Single, they already activated. Alright, and then Pan's effect to add back a monster. When a fusion monster gets set to the graveyard or destroyed. Alright, so he's activating Clip. He's gonna fuse into Crackle. Crackle-lackle. Arthalion gets to come back because two monsters went to the graveyard. He's gonna destroy my Rahu with Rico. Clip's gonna banish another monster. See, like I said, this is why you want to have two copies of monsters instead of one. Alright. So we go into SP. So this is the thing. SP is so good in this matchup. He has this negate, right? And the thing about SP, like he's trying to obviously wait for me to activate one of these cards to negate it. But we're not doing that. We're not falling for that, sir. So it's very important that he wasn't able to banish my, like he banished a Typhon and then I think Ghoulmel or whatever, right? I have another one. So yeah. So basically SP's here to get rid of RS. I mean, he changed to negate the RS, but like I said, we can leave the field, so he gets no negate and he gets banished. So he totally outplayed him here. Yep. Alright, and then we can safely activate K2. Get Lucius. Lucius will add Pan. And then we just end our turn. That's all we can do, but we broke his field pretty much. We pretty much broke it. We got Flame to negate. And then he's going to negate my card. Which is fine. We got him to burn that negate. And then he's going to go into his SP Little Knight. Trying to banish my card. I don't bite on it. I just let him do it. And then Femina confused to dodge. And then he activates Femina again, or activates SP again, but SP on the last chain will banish, so he doesn't get to do anything. And then I'm fusing away my card anyway, so yeah, I totally outplayed him there. And then we're gonna summon Ghoulmel. And then he banishes two more Arthalion. And then I get some grave effects from Lucius and Pan, and then I get to pop the field spell. Alright, and then we set up again for follow-up. Set two cards because, yeah, so he scoops up. So totally outplayed him there. Yeah, so yeah, I'm telling you, Dracotail is the shit, bro. We gotta be playing it. Alright, got another cool 2 matchup. Same deck, let's go. Alright, so I'm going first this time. Not the best hand, but we'll make it work. So I go for Femina to, yep, I'm glad I did that. So a lot of times when you're starting off a play, you gotta look at your hand and kind of guess like what they would have. So everyone's playing Drill. Everyone and their mom is playing Drill. So if I would have added Lucius right there, I would have gotten cooked because I wouldn't have been able to do anything. Adding Femina, yes, it's not gonna be strong as the end board maybe, but I'm able to play the game. So you know, just gotta think about different scenarios. So yep, we activate Femina for the fuse. And then we're gonna set up our Thalion. I think I add back Femina. Yep, and then a Pan. And then I activate Pan and Urgula to set up Rahu and one of the traps. Yep. We already have one of the traps in hand, so I'll probably be able to get all three for sure. And then we go Rahu, he ashes that. So he had Ash the whole time. He just didn't Ash my Kitu. And normally you want to Ash Rahu, so I mean that was well played on him. He doesn't expect me to have more traps in hand, but I did, so. Alright, so he summons out Riku, and then I'm gonna try to get rid of his Riku, then he chains the Cool Tune Synchro, and then I use Flame to negate, and then he chains Ghost Bell, so yeah. That's kinda sucks. And then I go Femina effect. Femina and our Thalion are gonna fuse into Gulamel. And he gets Q in hand. Oh, I draw on the Max C. That's pretty crazy. And he gets Rotary, so Rotary's gonna allow him to do another normal summon. Activate Max C. Alright, got another normal summon coming up, Q. And then he summons Mix. He gets some draws off this. Has another Rotary. Now he's making RS. Yep. Alright, yep. Trying to destroy my cards. Not worried about my monsters getting destroyed. They always come back. Femina summoned. And going into Track Maker. So now he's gonna be able to look at my hand, draw some cards, alter the top of my deck. But Gulamel's coming back. He grabs Cool Tune Synchro. And then he grabs another Cool Tune Synchro. He's already seen that I have Ash, so he's basically grabbing two to play around Ash. Then he sets both, destroys my Gulamel, and he passes back to me. Then I activate to get Malulu, or no, Fallen of Albaz, yeah. I think I remember this now. So, and then we get Brand Diffusion. So K2 gets negated, which is fine. And then he activates Cool Tune Synchro. I'm gonna just Ash it anyway. I know he has a second one. Then he activates the second one. Adds Clip. And then he fusions into Zaylin. Yep. Our Thalion comes back. And we're just going to beat over the Zaylin. Yep. Get him out of there. Alright, and then we can safely make some plays with Albaz. Albaz will send Urgula. And then we're going to fuse into Mirror Jade. Totally outplaying this guy, man. Alright, and then we pass since we already won the battle phase. Alright, so he's gonna summon, like, the fact that he's trying to summon Clip, bro, means that he has nothing. Like, you can tell when a player is desperate. Like, you don't really have any plays. So he summons Clip, and then I use Mirror Jade to banish it. And then he summons, and then he scoops again, so. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this deck is, yeah, it's really good, man. People are sleeping on it. Alright, and then this is another one. Can't remember which deck this was, but yeah, build Dracotail. Dracotail is really good, like I'm telling you. Alright, this hand was kinda sus. Alright. We get full lost. My hand isn't great. I just pass anyway. So my goal is to just activate Pirellia here. So we're gonna ash this vision. We don't want him getting a bunch of cards, and then we activate Pirellia. And this deck loves to summon from hand, but unfortunately he has Ash. Alright, so he gets in with the Ash. And then from here, Sky Striker. Yep, a lot of people are playing Radiant Typhoon Engine, but I think he opens pretty bad as well. He wanted to draw some cards off Full Lost, and I didn't let him, so he goes Kagari. Kagari's gonna add back Engage, and then he activates Hornet Drones, and then he's going into 0. I have Ash for 0, so unfortunate for him, he's gonna get blown out by my Ash. And then he gets another Engage. He's gonna activate it. I think he's gonna grab Widow Anchor. Yep, he grabs Widow Anchor. I think he's gonna get another one. And then Engage again. He's gonna grab another Widow Anchor. So you got 2 Widow Anchors. And he has 0. And he gets a draw. And then he sets 3 and passes back to me. I'm surprised he didn't go. Oh, okay. Maybe he already did damage. Alright. So I summon Malulu. And then he tries to activate Widow Anchor. And then we let him do it. Yeah, because he has another one anyway. Alright. And then I go into Typhon. Yeah. Because he has another Widow Anchor. So we want to kind of bait out that. And then he activates 0. And then I use my Ash Blossom. I love being able to Ash that card, man. Yeah. And then we just float, you know, a slow 2900 to the face. We set Horn, we pass. Nice and easy. Alright, he goes Upstart. Then he tries to take my Widow Anchor. So, right here, I know he's trying to... Hey, what's going on, Tricky? I know what he's trying to do. He's basically trying to go into Little Knight. Like, he has X-Deck Monster, he summons Fulos, and this tells me he's desperate. Like, you have no play, so you're trying to do something. So basically, I activate Horn because both monsters are in attack. So I basically I try to horn back my Typhon. And then he basically just horns it back for me. So, I don't care. Yeah, thank you. I just don't get a draw, which is kind of unfortunate, but... And then he pokes me in the face with Fulos, which, you know, 100, I'll live with that. And then we top deck Branded fucking Fusion. Like, this is insane. Alright, so from here, it's pretty much GG's. So we go into Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon. And then activate to set our Key 2, and then it's pretty much just, we're just going to add Lucius. Oh, and then, yeah, we go straight into Arthalion. Because I think he has another Widow Anchor. And then Arthalion, basically, will add cards. And then, what card is that he has? We get the activations engraved. Okay, Book of Eclipse. Alright, cool. We're a fusion deck, we don't care. Alright, so... I still got my normal summon as well. So... Yep, So we're gonna basically add back Lucas, summon, and so Lucas gets to add any scoops. Yeah, so cook Sky Striker, but I'm not gonna lie, he had a pretty bad hand, and I had a bad hand too. So yeah, we did the best we could. We didn't get any draws, but yeah, we did what we could there. All right, so those were some save replays. So yeah, Master 1 with Dracotail, it's really possible. You just gotta believe. But it's such a good deck, man. This is I think it's up there. I don't think it's out of the tier. I think it's at least tier 2. So that's all I got. I guess we can look at the deck again really quick, but oh yeah, Tricky, I'd love to watch a replay of yours. You got your code? But yeah, man, this is what I'm doing. So this is the hack. You gotta use this card. If you're not using this card in Dracotail, I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, let's watch the replay. But yeah, we gotta use this card. Yeah, and the reason is, like, I explained this a little earlier, but you don't want Cartesia in this deck when you already have competing normal summons. You got Malulu at 3, then you got Lucius. Like, I mean, in theory, like, Cartesia is a really good card, but I just feel like there are some times when I was playing, I'm like, damn, like, I'm like, who do I summon? Like, you know, and it can get negated, so you're just kind of sitting there like, what the hell? Like, why do I have all these like cards that kind of do the same thing? Whereas with this card on turn 1, it's really rare to be like get negated. The only way that you can get negated is like, especially if you're going first, is like if they have a Ghost Ogre, but no one's playing Ghost Ogre. Maybe Cool Tune, but I don't think a lot of decks are running it. And then also Impulse, right? Some decks can run Impulse, but not all decks can run it, right? Like a lot of the main like really good decks are not usually playing Impulse, right? So you play two, yeah. So you're probably the guy that would out this if you had it or hard drew it, but like it, you know, if you look at the stats, not a lot of people are playing it. So I think this card's great. Like turn 1, you know, you're going into Arthalion without a normal summon. That is awesome. Like what? And then from there, you know, you can set up, you know, the 2 spells, and then you can add, if you want to add Lucius, if you want to add Femina, depending on your hand. But the goal is you need to have more Dracotail targets. So, you know, if you open Performapal plus any of these 2 monsters, like, or anything, like, you basically can play the game. So Cartesia is good in theory, but I just feel like this has been really good for me. Like, and I've played this deck quite a bit. I just feel like I've had a lot of success, you know. And Performapal, like, the thing is, it's an older card. Like, this card can get negated. Like, sometimes it happened when I opened 2 of these, and the first one got negated. I can use the second one. Like, it's freaking crazy. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is like, if you're not on this card, like, you need to play this card. Like, at first I was running at 2 with Cartesia. I just cut Cartesia and said, let me run 3 of these, because like these cards are like just amazing. So yeah, gotta play that card. All right, let's see replay that we want to watch, and I think I should probably add you guys as friends. Okay, so how do we do this? It's been a while. Wait a minute. Is it over here? Alright. Might need some help. How do I find the... Is it live duel? How do I get to replays? Oh, okay. I think it's right here, right? Okay. Let me see. What was your code again, buddy? You want to post that code for me again? Get that replay? Or maybe I can find it. Let's see. Let's see. Where's that replay? Chat room. Hey, Tricky, you mind posting that your code so I can find your replay? All right, I found it. Okay, so let's see. All right, there we go. Okay, get a follow, and then we'll go to your replays, buddy. All right, you said to watch the first one. What deck were you playing? Check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's see what you got, Tricky. Oh, okay. Art Mage. Going second against Cashteria. So he summons out his Unicorn. Gets Cashteria Birth. Summons out another Cashteria Fenra. And then a Rise Heart. Okay, okay. Wait, what is this? Oh, Hecka Hands. Hecka Hands Cashteria. Okay, he goes into Shangria. Then he summons out a Rise Heart. Or Rise Heart, not a Rise Heart. And then he activates Big Bang. Targets Shangria. Then he's gonna block a zone. Oh, so yeah, you have a lot of spell cards in your hand, buddy. Alright, and then a Rise Heart is here. How do we deal with this? Alright. Alright, then he summons out another, like, why does he keep summoning out the, okay. Alright. Grab the Meteor Disappear, activate, oh. Ooh, wait, I see what you're gonna do here. Ooh, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Yeah. Alright, alright. I'm loving it. Okay, you get the banish. He's taking your zones though. I always hated this deck when it was really good. Like, okay, there we go. Medius Pure, and then he activates Finra to banish. Rise Heart's going crazy. Shangri's going crazy. Arm Dragon deck. I gotta see it. Gotta see that one. Alright. Art Mage. Okay. Okay, then yeah. Ooh. Man. This is spicy right now. Nope, can't lock the extra zone. Damn. He's locking zones. How do you get out of this? Like, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like trying to figure out. Okay, change battle positions. Love it. Nice. Alright, get off my field. Super Poly does not do anything really against this deck, but he has so many of the same card. Okay, I love it. I feel like you did really good on that. Yeah, that was well played. Well played. Ooh, another Rise Heart. Well, you do play multiple copies in Cashteria. What does this do? Okay. Got it. Yeah, it looks like it was kind of useless in this one. To be fair, you're playing against Cashteria. It's not always... Okay, wow, well played. That was a good one. All right, buddy. Well, let me see this deck, man. That's 60 cards, and you got a little spicy Dracotail in there. Wow. What are you on, brother? Raigeki, yeah. Raigeki would have cooked for sure. Especially when he didn't have the field spell, yeah. Shangri probably would have stayed on the field though, but like, I mean, you would have, yeah. This is very interesting. So so I didn't see any of the Dracotail, like how do you get into, I guess you just gotta hard draw those cards, right? Okay. This is nice, man. This is like, you know, something different. Alright, alright. Okay. So yeah, got some work to do today, but really happy about getting to Master 1. I don't know, what deck... Yeah, you just gotta hard draw it. So I'm like, I don't think there's a way to get into, like, without hard drawing, so yeah. But, you know, you're playing a 60 card deck, got a lot of gas, yeah. And that play was good. Yeah. You know, honestly, if I was playing against you and I saw Dracotail after all that, I'd probably scoop too. So I ain't mad at them. But okay, I can see that. Yeah. Okay. So it bridges from Art Mage to Dracotail, but there's no way to like kind of go. Okay, that's fair. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I need to figure out some new builds. I'm waiting on that branded support, man. I'm really excited to kind of see what that's gonna do. Use Dracotail for, okay, yeah. But yeah, man, try out, I'm telling you, give the Performapel variant a try, man. Like I said, let me know if that works out for you. But alright, I'm gonna end the stream. I'll probably be streaming later this weekend. See if we can get some good gameplay. Alright, later guys.